anyone who's ever had or does have any of these RAND McNally overdrives, or probably even the tablet, you probably have the constant issue with the thing not properly charging and constantly crashing, always losing signal and searching for satellite. First thing you do, if you have this, or if you haven't got it and you're gonna get one, throw this away. This is useless. This is the charger that plugs in to the box. The problem is these. These are spring loaded. And the problem with these being spring loaded is the springs overheat. And then when the springs overheat, which is what the electric is running through, it starts heating up this thing. And when this thing starts heating up, it screws up your satellite signal while it's not charging your GPS. So then your GPS is constantly searching for signal, and it's working twice as hard, 3 times as hard, 4 times as hard. I don't know how many times it's hard, but it's working multiple times as hard. And so then it can't charge the system properly, and it constantly crashes. The way you get around this is here you have your USB charger. Now, since I had a ELD, it's off right now. There it goes. My ELD, it had the same system. And it was constantly having the same problem. By fixing my ELD with using just a regular USB charger, I realized, hell, let's try this on the RAND McNally. Which, since I've been using the USB charger, my GPS has not crashed once. My GPS has not had any problems finding service. Yeah, if you're somewhere where you're in a real heavy cloud cover for a storm, you know, it is what it is. I mean, there's really nothing. The satellite has a hard time breaking through the cloud cover, so occasionally you're still going to lose, but that's normal. But you're not going to abnormally lose your connection all the time with it trying to find the GPS satellite, and with it not charging. Ever since this has been plugged in, it's stayed at 100%. And like I said, I've had no issues with the GPS since. And I've complained about this thing. I mean, I actually had a OVERDRIVE 7, which completely burnt out on me. And that's why it burnt out. But that's the issue. This thing just gets too hot. And the problem with these is that they absorb heat. So where it is here, I mean, my AC runs on it and it kind of keeps it cooler. But that didn't solve the issue. When you put it in your windshield and the sunlight is directly hitting on it, it's going to continually overheat that way as well. So if you're having issues with your RAND McNally overdrive and you're getting ready to throw the damn thing out the window like I was, try using your USB charger. If you use a USB charger that goes through your cigarette lighter, either get the RAND McNally USB charger or get a good, don't go and buy the no frills $5.99 charger. It's not going to do it. But go get yourself a good $20, $30 USB charger to run through your cigarette lighter, and it solves the whole issue. I've had no problems with this since I've done that. And I've had nothing but issues with this thing up until that point. It was a complete nightmare. It was really, I mean, anyone who's ever had one and they've gone through the issue like that, you know, it's just a simple waste of money is what just runs through your mind constantly. So it was a pretty simple fix. It's just the idea of figuring it out. I mean, I thought about using the USB charger, but I didn't think that would solve the problem until I went through it with my ELD, and then I figured out, well, damn. And since then, no issues at all. And if you keep running in that thing, eventually this is going to burn out, and then your GPS isn't going to work at all because this here boosts your GPS signal. And without this, your GPS signal is so weak that you're going to constantly lose your GPS signal. So you need to use that thing. But as long as you're running through this, then the power coming out of your GPS will run into that, boosting your GPS antenna. And it's actually a rather simple fix. But yeah, the first thing you do though is you throw this damn thing away because it is useless. You can't run the power through the gray box. If you run the power through the gray box or silver box, whatever color you consider that, it just constantly gets hot and it constantly overheats. And I don't know if they've solved the problem yet or what, but I don't see how they could really solve the problem, because the problem is with it being spring loaded, the springs are going to overheat, and the springs just, they can only handle the heat so much. I mean, it's just like a fuse, the spring. And eventually your springs are just going to break from the heat from overheating, and so they're not going to work at all. So the best way is just to run the USB charger, and it solves all your issues.